Greetings, everybody. Welcome back to the Faction Frenzy run of AI War 2. Before we get started, I just wanted to make a brief apology for my voice. Had an interesting adventure this past week, and appears that I picked up some sort of bug, so I could very well for the next week or so be a little raspy. Hopefully it won't affect things too much, but I am a bit under the weather now, just trying to medicate as best I can. Okay, so a couple interesting things I found when I was looking at this strategically. We now have between a quarter and a third of the galaxy scouted. And you can see we've pretty much got this area covered. We can press off in this way, this direction, and either way around the ring. But I did find over here, one of our most recent scouts in Haven is an ambush tech vault. So that'll help our fleets, and we definitely want to grab that when we can get to it. But there really isn't anything along this path to it that I want right now. So I may end up coming at it up through this way later on. We're going to wait and see what exactly happens with that. The other thing is the Dyson Sphere. And I was going to go ahead and free it up anyway. Now I definitely want to do that, because I was looking at the strategic situation, and actually to get into our home system, there's really only a few ways in. One is to come through this way. Another one is to come through here. Another one is to come through here. Notice either of these two directions is going to run into Tesla. So I can sort of have that, block off this area for it. This is actually a great strategic system. And the other choke point is out this way. And so I think Anubis is going to be a very important system for us. I think that we might want to take something up in this direction if I can find a way to make it work and get something useful. And then, this one could help with the other two. So being able to block off any approaches that come in through those directions would be really vital. And so I want to aim in that direction. So what we've got going on now is these two fleets are going to head over here, knock out the Marauders. This one's going to safeguard the building up of the command station in Kafiro. I'm going to move the support one over this way because I want to gradually get into here. I want to neuter Sark rather. And that's next to Heinel anyway. I want to do that both to get into here and for purposes of limiting their reinforcement. And then we do want to hit this data center as soon as possible as well. But let's take a look at what's going on here in Catmull for a moment while all of those orders play out. And basically this is an exo wave heading for our major data center. I think this is one of the reasons why actually their exos haven't bothered us that much, because they're running into us. And so I'm going to pause this at this point so I can take care of that attack. But the AI plowing into each other, they've got a couple of beam great cannons in here that are going to do some damage. And they're sort of taking out some of their own forces from the other AI types through the Civil War before they even get to our system. So that's a nice little bonus for us. And we'll see if we can clear out the rest of this mess and get set for our next bit of attacking. Okay, it's only been a few minutes, but quite a few things have actually changed. Kafiro's fleets are up. We're moving into Sark, and I'm going to show that in a minute. They've knocked out Catmull. Narshe and Dietz are now neutral. Thurstone is neutral, and Talia down here also neutral. But look up here. That looks almost neutral at first. But you see the color is actually slightly different. Maybe I should have picked a different color to sort of distinguish a little better. But Haven has been captured by Nanocaust. Oh, and Octave is also neutral. Okay, I didn't even notice that one. So yeah, that's our first sighting of the Nanocaust. So we know that they started probably somewhere out this way. And making sure that they don't penetrate our position obviously is going to be of huge importance. So that's going to be absolutely incredibly necessary. But down here in Sark, okay, so I've got the other two fleets over here just plinging away at whatever. And they're going to continue to do that, and they're going to gradually wear down the defenses in this system. I want our cloaked fleet to actually go through. And it's just heading in here. Because if we look at this, this is one of the Dyson ships. And they go into neighboring systems. Oh, good. We're going to get some help. So let's hop in here. They don't have any tachyon defenses. There we go. Okay, so they've got all these things all over the place. They're doing various things and they're attacking. There's our Dyson Sphere. And it's currently hostile to all. We have to free the star from the AI. And that's what this thing's job is. I just want to send it right over here. I don't care what ships I lose. I don't care if the flagship gets crippled, although it won't because it won't be detected. Now, the Dyson Sphere does have a decloaking thing, but we're not going to get within range of that. Okay, so what we're going to do is, nope, don't go on that. Attack the command station, nothing else. Hit the command station. There we go. The Dyson Sphere will not save you, it says. Well, we of course get the AI progress from that. Now let's go pursuit mode. And we're not going to rebuild anything in here, but I think we'll probably still have enough ships. If we won't, I'll just load up and escape. Yep, and there's our +7 from the AI progress from the risk analyzers. So now we're all the way up to 77. Floor is 47. Okay, so we've got some room there. We want to go hit that data center when we can. But now, key thing, Dyson Sphere allied to the player. So now this is on our side. And so really I think the best thing for me to do here, let's go off pursuit. And let's just load everybody up and go back into Sark and let the Dyson Sphere clean up its mess. Allied resistance ships joining the fight. Oh, even better. We're going to have some additional fun in here. And how are we doing over here? Okay. This should go pretty easily. Damage report. And now at this point, I think we just want to put everybody on pursuit and just clean up the mess. Ships on home planet. They're going for the throat. Got a little bit of attack there, but nothing much. There's an exo wave coming. We want to watch those numbers, but I'm not going to be too worried about them. It's definitely fairly jerky at high speeds, but that's not a performance issue. That's just having a bit of a graphical issue with the current version of the game. Time for a little target practice. All turrets open fire. And I think this is going to go pretty quickly. Under attack in enemy territory. Those are going down. Alright, let's take a look at that Dyson Sphere real quick. And some of the different options that we can do. Ah, yes. It's ticked off a bunch of ships and they're not happy with it. It says only 23% of its supportable ships are on the map. Okay, so we can download a ship design. It has multiple ones. The one you get if you download the design is the Defender, which is a fusion bomber type thing. I personally don't think it's that great. You can increase its unit production or decrease its unit production. Now, interestingly, its production of ships is capped by the current AI progress. So, or you can increase its maximum strength. And what I'm probably going to want to do, increase the unit production eventually, because I'm wanting to rely on this as sort of a choke point thing, and you can see it's getting beaten by these ships. But I don't think I want to mess with that just yet. I want to probably get a little bit more hacking in the bank first before I accomplish that. So, next goal, finish off Sark. Go hit this data center to knock our AI progress down a little bit more. And then we're going to try to close off some more of these entryways into our territory. Well, our plans got interrupted just a teensy-weensy bit. Now, in Tesla, the Dyson Sphere is currently building. 35%. We did not hit this data center. We did clear out Sark. The reason for this state of affairs is the Nanocaust. They have exploded. They are a clear and present threat to everyone in the galaxy, most immediately us. Now, let's consider the time frame. Because when last we looked, they had Haven. Octave here was it was neutral, so they had probably knocked out the AI, but they hadn't captured it yet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 systems they've advanced in less than 10 minutes, just over 9 minutes. So once they get going, they get there in a hurry. Now let's take a look at what they have in here. That's a lot of ships. Yep, over 3,000 of them, over 1,000 strength. Now, some of this stuff, like for example, they've got abominations, they've got aberrations. Those are what the Nanocaust has. They use nanobots, they corrupt enemy ships that they destroy, and they get a corrupted version of them after they die and add them to their force. So it's like parasites, only a little bit different, more powerful. Basically, they can capture even some ships that you can't zombify. But they are not invincible. The one thing you do not want to do is get an attrition battle with them. If you're sending your fleets after them, you do it with overwhelming force, or you don't do it at all, because all you'll end up doing is feeding them. You can't attrition them to death. But they are weak to turrets in a way, because they can't capture turrets or guard posts or things like that. So that's one thing. They hoard up, they move around, generally in a big fleet ball that's roughly around the same area, but they also do not have the defenses. They don't build guard posts, they don't build turrets, and they tend to leave their rear guard planets undefended. So that's a thing. And so going scorched earth, knocking out their systems to reduce their support, using turrets against them where you can. Those are the main strategies. But having said that, Nanocaust are still the strongest faction in the game. They're way stronger than the AI faction. They are murderous. So this up here is the key. Their nanobot centers is, they build one of these on the planets that they capture. They build new ships from it. And when they are built, they have decloakers that essentially have a planet-wide range. On the other hand, they do like to build outwards. They do not like attacking far from, their command stations. So if we can, or control centers. So if we can push them back, and you can see they don't have one in here. So if we manage to knock this one out, it's only got 17 seconds before it gets built, but if we can knock it out, then we'll have something. Well, how do you knock it out with that much force in there? Well, until it's built, they can't detect our cloakers. So that's definitely job one. Now, Zanzibar's in trouble. Take my rear guard fleet, move them back there, and I'm going to keep these in here. Snipers do tend to be good, and we don't have nearly enough, but they do tend to be good against the Nanocaust, because they have lots of really fast ships, and snipers are great against fast ships. So let's pop in here and see what we can do. This game has now turned into a desperate fight for survival, and we have chances to do some things here to keep this from overrunning us, but it could very well go south. Okay, so we want to pop all the way up here before this is built, which is 13 seconds. And they're retreating and doing various things, and I don't care what happens to these ships. I really don't. Unload. What matters is that we take this out. 4 seconds.
Our planet is under attack.
Yep.
Human resistance cell in full retreat.
Get it. Get it. Kill it. Kill it now. There we go. Load whatever you have left. Escape. Escape away from the main horde. Whichever direction that is. Don't get crippled, please. Get away, get away, get away, get away, get away. Just barely... Oh, it cloaked in time and then they triggered it. Okay. Well, the only option here is just to run for Heinel. Run, run, run. As soon as we get out, we're going to destroy all those ships and rebuild. Okay. 28 of them. That way they can't capture those. And then you move back here and repair. We've still got our snipers. Where are we here? Yeah, let's unload you. Have you fight off whatever you can. In here. That should defend this. And okay, so for the moment, you can see that, like, okay, here's some Dyson defenders floating out this way. That's nice of them. What do we got over here? Okay, there's no Nanocaust in here. And they don't control this, they don't control this, so they're getting a bit away from their sort of control centers. We have survived for the moment. Like, we've blunted their attack. I mean, it doesn't look that way because they've got still over 1,000 threat in here, but they're not going to want to push much farther without rebuilding, and them rebuilding gives us time to rebuild, so this could work. Bingo. Okay. Now, that's part one. Okay, they've taken Verandal. So we want to get there yesterday. That's our next job, because they shouldn't be able to detect us in here, but they will be able to in there. So we may have to do a similar sacrificial routine, but we're going to push them back if it kills us. And it might. Marauders have taken Dietz. We don't care. Here's a, Reconquest wave coming to Catmull. All those things are details now. We are fighting for our very survival against the Nanocaust. And we could care less what happens anywhere else. Okay. Verandal. There's not that much in here that I can see. No. And it's way over there. Okay. We're going to move like off to this side of it. You can see they're decloaking us. So we're in a hurry. Oh, human resistance fighters. They're just going to get chewed up by the Nanocaust. That'll be fun. But you can see they're streaming in from the other system. So, once again, you want to knock out their... Knock it out. Knock it out. And you see the ship's just getting built. And you can see it was supporting over 5,000 strength, it said there in the tooltip real briefly. Okay. Now, we want to re-get our... Still nothing here. They only have 41 strength in here? Seriously? Ah, they're moving into Sark. They're attacking in Sark. That's actually really bad. But they may retreat. I'm going to really watch this close. They may retreat now that they don't have, because that was only 2 hops away, but now it's 3. In any case, my move here is to get away from them so that we can rebuild our cloak. There we go. Okay, cloak's back up. What are all you doing? Probably not deciding. They're gonna take over these Dyson ships, unfortunately, and that's just a disaster. If they start getting into here and feeding on this, we're in such big trouble we won't know which end is up. Often the Nanocaust getting to a Dyson Sphere planet that's friendly to the human and they start converting them, I mean, it's you can just quietly resign at that point. But we want to keep encouraging them to withdraw by moving on to the next system.
Hostile ships detected on critical planet.
We're only short 4 ships here, so that's nice. And they're going to move around fighting, and they're going to capture all of these human resistance fighters. I mean, without a cloaked ship, we would be severely screwed. This would probably be a game over scenario. And let's go about there.
Taking fire on enemy world.
Knock out the nanobot center. There we go. With all these ships next door, I do not want to hang around and try to fight any of these.
They're giving up. Human resistance cell retreating. Ships detected. IFF
2,
signals
1. Bingo, cloak. Okay. Now where are we? Ah, they're building it. Doggone it. No choice. We've got to go back. That has got to die. We've cleared these out. Oh, and they're building one there, too. But I think this is actually more important than this, although they're both really important. Okay, let's send Wonder. $64 seconds. 88 seconds. Okay, so we have some time. But only for cloaked ships. Cloaked transports, really. Get back. Please get back in time. This is a long journey across this system. Oh, Bowen's in trouble, so let's deal with that. This is cleared up. And you are going to go where? All the way back there.
I'll see that it's done.
Pop out here. And, oh, beautiful.
enemy territory.
Beautiful job, Dysons. You knocked it out before, and that saves me a bit of time to run back up to Terminus.
Human resistance cell in full retreat.
Come on. Come on. Okay. Now, how much time? 28 seconds. I think we can do this. Yep, they're coming in here. Oh boy, are they ever coming in here. But, kill it, kill it, kill it now, kill it yesterday, kill it 20 years ago. There we go. Load up.
Engaging enemy in neutral zone.
Run away. So they're going to smash and everything in here, but they're not currently building one in any of these places. We're back to Lyrae. Can we push them
Human
back?
resistance cell has engaged the AI.
And let's unload all of you in there and help with that battle. Yep, their main fleet's in here. But we can't fight off their main fleet, so it's kind of pointless for us to hang out. Randall. And you're not building anybody yet, are you? No. One system away from our homeworld. But we actually, if we could knock this out, that would, I think that would have to push them back. But I don't know what they have in there. Come on. What are you going to do? You going to break my heart? Okay. Got a bunch of stuff right by me, but if I can get over here. Run, run, run. Yeah, now they're going to start shooting, but we got a couple seconds head start. Let's go about there. Knock it out. Come on. Kill it. Kill it, please. There we go. Reload. We're not taking on all this mess. Okay. Shields at 45%. Let's run and cloak and see where we are. Ah. Okay, run up that way. There we go. Now we got the cloak. Shields, I think, will gradually regenerate on their own. Yep, slowly, but they do. Okay, we've got all of this. Still neutral. Still not capturing any of it. Notice their fleet is now pulling back, because they had most of their strength in here, and now most of it's back to Corvus. Of course, just objectively, they could have smashed into Sproul and destroyed us. The problem for them is they didn't know that. Where's our fleet? You're still here? You're still doing fine. We're fighting this stuff up. Okay, when that Tesla Guardian goes down, this will get much easier. Okay, I think I want to try to go at least one more further. Let's head into Dangara. See what's, because with all their fleet up here, we're now really getting behind them.
The AI has constructed a new instigator base.
Hey, it's an instigator base. Hunter fleet budget? Guess how much I don't care. Oh, it's right here. Unload.
Under attack on enemy world.
Destroy. With massive extreme prejudice.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm really glad that 6-second delay is not longer. Load up. And of course, you don't want to fight a bunch of extra ships in here because it'll create more Dark Spire. Yep, they're coming in and chasing me. Got to get away, got to get that cloak back up. Shield is up almost all the way, though. I think I'm going to keep going. Okay, so I think this is a point where I'm going to cut it off for now. But what have we accomplished here? Oh, there's, you know, the majority of their strength went back into Terminus. They may want to try and rebuild here. Thing is, I've penetrated behind their lines, but I don't want to get too far away. I've got to keep an absolute eagle eye on these systems. But we have stopped them from pushing in forward any further. You destroy enough of these and, you know, their ability to maintain a big force will be weakened to some extent, and hopefully you can whittle them down later. And, you know, I mean, we know that they've at least got these 3 systems, and who knows how much further this goes. If we can, you know, keep them from penetrating any further this way, it's at least better than the alternative. All right, so taking care of the Nanocaust, trying to fight them, trying to find some way to survive. Forget about expanding through the galaxy. We're just trying to survive right now. We'll continue next time. But until then, thanks for watching. More AI War 2 will continue.